dim distant past and has no relevance to you, but I suggest to you that actually it has a lot of relevance, particularly in this case, because Hall of Fame people, the people that win Hall of Fame awards, really have cleared a path for the rest of the industry. They've shaped the environment for all of us, and they've set expectations throughout the industry and with clients. The Hall of Fame award goes to an outstanding individual for their contribution to the industry, usually. But this year, unusually, the Hall of Fame award goes to an entire agency. The Campaign Palace set creative standards in this country and indeed around the world for 30 years. It was an agency that was famous, and it was an agency that put Australian advertising not really on the map, but on the pedestal for everyone to see, and it helped make advertising a legitimate path for creative people to pursue. Their name suggests that they made campaigns, but in truth, and certainly as I recall it, as a younger man, they made popular culture. Here's a short look at some of what they managed to achieve.
1972, the year that saw Billy McMahon seek the role of Prime Minister to Gough Whitlam. Douglas Nicholls became the first Indigenous Australian to be knighted, and the adventures of Barry Mackenzie take to the silver screen. It was indeed a year of change. The belated creative revolution that had been going since the 60s in the US and the UK finally found roots in conservative Australia in the early 70s. A slew of new local agencies arrived on the scene. However, it was founded Gordon Treadpath and Lionel Hunt's formation of one particular shop that marked Australia as a creative force to be reckoned with. This particular agency would remain a bastion of creative excellence on the world stage for over 30 years. This agency was the Campaign Palace. The Palace set the standard in Australia and inspired the formation of a award in 1979 to be a permanent record of our best work across all advertising and design disciplines. And such was their domination in the late 70s, the first award awards was a Palace coup, with page after page of gold and silver pencils going to them. Competition thrived as agencies such as Mojo, Gough Waterhouse, John Bevans, McSpadden Carey and others opened their doors. With a motto of, great ads are the last thing we do, the Palace pioneered the philosophy that insight was at the heart of the idea. Thus, they dominated effectiveness awards for over 15 years and the award awards into the new millennium. A veritable rogues gallery of some of the brightest creative and business minds in the country contributed to the Palace's prolifically successful output. Ron Mather, Des Speakman, Reg Bryson, Jack Vaughan, Scott Wyman, and many others helped shape an advertising icon. Through its work, the Campaign Palace helped shape the Australian way of life. There are scores of campaigns that will remain in the minds of many for years to come. Their images, sounds and identities are woven into the fabric of Australian culture. If a award was to only select Palace ads for its best of all time reel, it would still compete with the best any other country in the world could offer. It is surely inevitable that an albeit posthumous induction into the Award Hall of Fame goes to the Campaign Palace.
The Campaign Palace won everything worth winning, here and abroad. They had the best creative department in the country, they had arguably the best account service department in the country, and they certainly had some of the best producers, studio and traffic people that were in Australia at the time. Perhaps most important, I had loyal clients who really understood and respected what the agency could do for them. Clients who encouraged fresh, daring, adventurous and brave creative work. In fact, not only encouraged it, but expected it, the campaign colours. Australian Meat and Livestock, Bonds, Westpac, Gatorade, Threadco, Apple, Optus, Cellies, Daewoo, all those brands benefited from really the genius of campaign colours. And they're an agency that also knew how to enjoy themselves, famously knew how to enjoy themselves. It was a very sad day that the colours closed. It was a very great day that we get to acknowledge their contribution to the industry, and I think we all owe them a massive debt of gratitude. Would you please welcome to accept the Hall of Fame award on behalf of the campaign colours 5 of the people most instrumental in its success: Mr. Lyman Hunt, Gordon Prembath, Ron Naylor, Jack Bourne and Scott Wyman.
Foresight and courage to open the palace in 1972, and I'd like to thank our best ever creative directors, Jack Bourne, Ron Naylor, Scott Wyman, and all the other talented people that work at the palace for keeping us pretty much on top for over 30 years. So for all the very talented people that have worked at the palace and with the palace, this is